Okay, so yesterday I did my little review talking point thing about Boku no Pico, and it was the first episode, and it was not a good experience for me. But there are three, three episodes slash movie. They're longer than anime episode, they're longer than 30 minutes, but they're not by that much. Um, there is more content because I guess audiences were just screaming for more. And after discussing the first one, I was gonna wait a little while before I talked about the other two because I didn't know if I was really up to it, but honestly, I'm trying to erase it from my mind, and I feel like this will be cathartic and it will assist me in doing so. So, the reason I separated it in the first place is because the first little episode movie, Boku no Pico, it is not really connected to the other two. Like, the second and third one, I guess you don't need to see them together, but the third one makes a little bit, not much more sense, but a little bit more sense if you see the second one. Um, you don't need to see the first one to watch either of the other two. There's no, because the only thing that's the same is Pico's there. That's it. It's not the same town, there's no other characters, and this is what I was talking about in the first one. That relationship, even if we ignore the fact it's super wrong and the dude's a pedophile, it wasn't even an emotionally bonded relationship, because that guy, I don't even remember his name, because he was just the grown pedophile guy. He had brown hair, but he's never mentioned in these. Never. It never comes up. Chico, who's, we'll get to that, is never Pico, what about your past? And he's never oh, I had this relationship with this grown man. That never comes up. Which, I mean, I guess it wouldn't in normal conversation, really, but I mean, nothing else makes sense in this damn world, so the relationship, it's not mentioned. So what occurs in the second one is Pico, who is even more sexualized in these, by the way. In the first one, kind of when he's sexualized, it's through the grown man's eyes. In this one, they're like, fuck that. We're just gonna have him be super sexualized no matter what. So it's the audience's viewpoint is supposed to be really sexualizing this child, which is uncomfortable, but you kind of get used to that watching these damn things. Um, he's riding his bike out in the woods in Japan somewhere. I don't know if it's near where the last movie took place. I don't know. And he comes across this kid. And when I say kid, yes, I mean kid. Um, who's younger than him, by the way. You can tell just from context, and also because when I googled it, it said he was a little younger. Again, Pico's supposed to be 15. That's bullshit. I say he's 10 to 12, which means this kid, Chico, is 8. He's 8 or 9, is my opinion, based on just how he talks and his sort of appearance. I know it's hard to tell in animes with appearances, but we're just gonna say he's young. He's younger than Pico. And so Pico is like, hey, and they become instant friends, which I guess is kind of normal for younger kids. They sort of become friends really fast, but so they're just hanging out, chill. This kid Chico lives with his older sister, and one day Pico and Chico are everyone has a stupid name in this, by the way. They're hanging out in a loft or a second level to the house, but it's only one room. It might be an attic. They're hanging out in an attic, and they look through the cracks in the floor, and you see the older sister, who is, you know, a legitimate adult, at least, is, she's pleasuring herself, and these little boys just watch, which is creepy and a little incestuous, which is gross. I'm not gonna say it's super, super, super out of the norm for boys to want to like spy on an older girl. I don't think that's that weird. What is weird, other than the fact that she's one of their sisters, is that Pico, who is very sexually experienced at this point, um, and very comfortable with his sexuality, which I guess is good. He's not like ashamed that he's assumedly gay, but you know, he still does not need to be at that level at that age. But um, basically, what happens is from that point forward, he sort of engages this younger boy, Chico, in a sexual relationship, and it's a little bit interesting actually because if you think about it, he's sort of grooming this kid to be his sexual partner, sort of like the grown man was grooming him in the original. So it does kind of show like how the cycle of abuse works and how when you are given that experience where you think that's normal for an older guy to like take you under his wing and teach you about that sort of thing, you think that like it's okay now and it's normal. And I am 3,000% sure that that's not the point of the anime, is not to represent the cycle of child abuse, but it does, in a way. Um, anyway, the rest of the movie is really just like sexual escapades between these two children. And I don't think I mentioned in the first one how damn graphic the noises are. Like, Jesus. Like, it's just really, can't think of a word beyond graphic, honestly. It's a lot. They put a lot of effort into these scenes. Yeah. And, this one, see, the first one did have this sexual relationship that was, you know, wrong. And it did involve cross-dressing at one point. He got to wear, like, a girl's, was it a maid's uniform? It was something like that. It was girls' clothes. And, I think there were ice cubes at one point. There was something fucked up. It was kind of fucked up. But it wasn't, like, into a whole lot of kinky fuckery. Like, if it was a regular relationship, it wouldn't be, like, that abnormal. This one, these little boys are into some, like, just crazy shit. It's wild. I don't know how it ever occurs to them to do these things. Or to use these things, but it does. It does. They find, like, the older sister's sex toys, they use those. They find her lingerie, they use that, which it doesn't even make sense. How would they fit her clothes? Nothing makes sense. But, I'm laughing because it gets even less sensical in the third one. But, then the worst part of the second movie, in my opinion, because while it is horrible to watch children in that sort of way, especially real children, like, I mean, these are animated, but you know it's the same intention. And, what really fucked it up is, in a way, it's a little bit better than the first one because they're relatively the same age. Like, they're both underage, little kid, but, like, they're close in age. So it's a little less uncomfortable and a little more uncomfortable at the same time. But, what takes it over the top and makes it worse is that they decide to add about as close as you can get to incest without actually having incest. When the sister comes home while they're having a sex marathon, which, again, whatever, they're having a sex marathon, and the sister comes home and fucking gets turned on, which, first off, ew, for two reasons. One, those are children. Two, one of them's your brother. And, she is so turned on that she touches herself to them. And that's just, like, really, really weird to me, personally. Like, I mean, I guess it's weird in general, but something about that is even grosser than normal with this series. Not normal in general. Well, yeah, normal in general. But, I mean, in context of this series, it's even weirder than normal. And then we get to part 3. Now, part 3 is where the writers, or the director, whoever's in charge of the overarching storyline, this is when they decided, fuck reality, fuck it, like, who cares anymore, really? We're getting away with making animated child porn. Why not? Why not just do whatever the fuck at this point? Which, it almost makes it a little better that it's clearly not based in any way in reality. Like, there's sort of, they bring in supernatural elements to this one. It makes it a little better almost, because it's not like they're trying to get you to believe that this is occurring in modern day, like, Japan, and all the bystanders are okay with this. Which, I mean, there aren't a lot of bystanders, but in the first one, the grown man's uncle or something, he knows damn good and well. He's the one who, like, pushes the relationship in the first place. I forgot to mention that in the first one. But, like, anyway, like, this is weird. To start the story off with being just ridiculous, these two kids, Boko and, not Boko, damn it, I did it again. Pico and Chico go to Tokyo. I think they said it was Tokyo, but if not, it's, I'm sure, supposed to be Tokyo. Together, alone. No, the older sister's not even mentioned. I don't know why these two children are off in this big city alone. And they don't even have a place to stay. Like, we'll get to that. But they didn't plan for this outing very much. Which makes sense because they're kids. But, they're like at an arcade or something. And this person comes up, and you assume it's a girl because she has like really long, pretty hair. And it's like, oh, cute. No, boy. Not only a boy, but a fairy. Not like in a gay fairy. No, like a literal fucking fairy. They suggest this at multiple points in the storyline, that this is legitimately a fairy. And his/her, because it's like a boy, but I'm not sure. Their name, we're gonna go with there, is Coco, and they sleep with Pico. And then later on they sleep with Chico. And Pico has the damn gall to get jealous and upset about that when he's been sleeping with them. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I mean, I guess he's a little fucked up in the head because of all this shit, but just illogical nonsense. And, it ends with them having a threesome on the fairy tower. The fairy has a tower, and they have a threesome on it. And there's fireworks at the end that, like, goes at the same time. They all, like, orgasm, which is the third one's almost a little funny because of how outlandish it is, but you keep getting reminded that they're supposed to be kids, and it kind of takes you out of what little, like, humorous enjoyment you could get from it and ruins it. And, really that's it. The art's been nice throughout the whole thing, but, music is good, but it's not a wholesome anime. Like, most anime isn't wholesome, but it's, like, beyond unwholesome, and I would not recommend it, personally, or in general. And if you would, you're a pedophile, so.